whenever India in the recent past have toured outside of India or outside of Asia, the bowlers have done the job.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of a thing where they are looking at the batters, give us some runs to bowl at.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that
yeah.
has not been the case. You look at 2021 2022 series, you start off with that top six. You had a Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, Cheteshwar Pujara, Virat Kohli, Ajinkya Rahane, Rishabh Pant. Only two from that top six are still there
Yeah.
in Pant and KL
Gill.
Rahul.
KL Rahul,
Yashasvi
yeah.
Jaiswal would open. KL Rahul most likely there. We've discussed that. 3 and 5 could be the crucial thing given the fact that Gill at number 4. A Sai Sudarshan or a Karun Nair, whoever could be from that squad. But from not just from a numbers point of view, how big of a hole or how big of a gap is not having your Kohli, not having a Rohit Sharma, and from that previous series, a Cheteshwar Pujara or a Ajinkya Rahane, you talked about the fragility in that bowling batting unit. Who's that person or who would be those guys who would come up and stand up? Because we remember Lords was Siraj with that 8 wickets. Edgbaston show was all Rishabh Pant heroic. Pant has not been the same Pant since the accident.
Yeah.
So it's fragility all over.
All
But then
over.
again, if there has to be a silver lining, what are those silver lining in a potential way?
Well, when the squad was announced, the first thought that came in my mind was we are going to lose this 0-5. Now, in contrast to that, if you are asking me what could be the silver linings, then I think I see Karun Nair making a comeback. Not if not in Leeds, then
Deservedly so.
obviously in the upcoming games in the next matches, and if he is there, maybe at number 3, if you make
I'll
him
put him
bat.
at number 5.
Yeah, if you make him bat at number 5 or 3, I think, yeah, as you said, 5 is the the best place to make him bat. And the last series he played was against England, the 7 years back when he scored a triple hundred, and then
He
he
was actually dropped in the after the England tour
yeah,
in
yeah,
England.
yeah.
He did not get a game. He was part of the squad, then was dropped very unceremoniously.
Yeah, and KL Rahul was also there. He missed out on a double hundred. He was out on 199. So I think that kind of a camaraderie we can see again. Two Karnataka boys, bailing India out of another early collapse. That could be a situation. So if you ask me about the silver linings, then Karun Nair could be it. And there is also a Sai Sudarshan. We haven't seen him, playing Test cricket. We have seen him doing great in IPL, in domestic cricket as well. But how he's gonna fare in this English conditions? That's also a mystery, I would say. So a box full of mysteries, and I hope that it should be entertaining for us, because it's a long series, 5 match test series, with a lot to prove for so many players. So at this moment, the silver lining what I can think about from the batting perspective is Karun Nair, because I personally want him to want to see him bat. And if you ask me from the bowling perspective, then I think Arshdeep Singh could be a dark horse, because I don't remember who was the last, lethal left arm pacer for India in Test cricket. Though T. Natarajan was there in Australia, but his
You'll have
include
to go back to Zahir Khan
yeah,
era.
almost a decade back. And but in the near past, T. Natarajan was there in Australia, but we also know how he was included in
Very
the squad.
accidental
Yeah.
kind of debut.
So, but apart from that, if you try to find out a regular left arm pacer, who was the last regular left arm pacer, it will take some time to recall exact names. And in that case, when you are looking to, once again, I will say that when you are looking to mold a new test team, design a new test setup. So I think Arshdeep Singh could be that change maker. So these two names I would take.
But for me, I look at that bowling unit. You have a Jasprit Bumrah, you have a Mohammad Siraj, you have an Akash Deep.
Yeah. Prasidh
Your
Krishna also there.
your top three or your first choice three bowlers would be these three, and then you have a Prasidh Krishna. Then you have added to the squad somebody like a Harshit Rana as well. So I'm not really sure where does an Arshdeep would come in here. Would be very interesting, as you said. With Arshdeep, he can, yes, of course, the left arm factor is definitely there. Can swing the ball both ways,
Both ways.
but is he physically enough does he have the strength to bowl longer spells? That would be interesting for me to look at, because you have to remember, 2 matches Jasprit Bumrah won't be there.
Yeah.
So you would need one extra bowler there. Do you add a Kuldeep and a Jadeja, for those? Because there would be probably 2 games wherein you may see 2 spinners operating in Jadeja and Kuldeep when Jasprit Bumrah is not playing, or would they give a hand to Arshdeep Singh? Would be very, very interesting call to take. Before moving on to the next phase of what this means to our head coach as well, just a word on what we discussed in terms of the team composition and bowling and everything. But there are crucial factor for England are your all-rounders: Nitish Kumar Reddy, Shardul Thakur, Ravindra Jadeja. And now we have seen in India A games, both of these guys, yes, Shardul Thakur did score 100, but their economies weren't the greatest.
Yeah.
How much of them or how much of their performances would make or break this series for Team India? Because with the ball and with the bat, because Shardul Thakur was there in the previous tour, 8 wickets if I'm not wrong he took. Nitish Kumar Reddy, after that Australia good series, has not really performed to the level that we want to see, albeit in the IPL and everything, and now the unofficial test. So for the first test, a straightforward question would be, do you put a Shardul Thakur over a Nitish Kumar Reddy, or you just go ahead with a Kuldeep Yadav?
If you ask me, I'm skeptical about both the players, because we saw Nitish Reddy, that was a work in progress when we saw him in Australia. Though he scored 100, a great one at the MCG, but with the bowl, he wasn't that effective. And in fact, bowling coach Morne Morkel also accepted the fact that he has a lot of work to do with the bowling part. Now comes Shardul Thakur. The kind of test debut he made last decade, we have seen, just made his debut and injured. So that has been his story, in and out of the team. But he had a great Australia tour where he scored a 50 or half century as well. Now he is coming into this series after scoring 100 in the intra-squad game. But does that enough? Is that enough for Shardul Thakur, or those contributions will be enough to put him in that 11, where you will, you will want want him to give that extra run in the down the order and pick up crucial wickets in the middle overs. So that's still, that's why I said this part as a skeptical for me. And now we speak about Ravindra Jadeja. We don't have to talk much about him, because we know how he plays with the bat, and in some cases we have seen him more of a batter than a bowler. So yes, that's another challenging part going to be for the management, to pick one from Shardul Thakur and Nitish Reddy. But going by the experience and the what he has done in the domestic circuit recently as well, and also in these India A matches or the unofficial test matches. So I think going by that, Shardul Thakur may, make his place in the 11. But again, this Indian team management is batting obsessed, I would say, because as you said, we have bowlers who would require the batter to give them that cushion of runs. So in that case, Nitish Reddy had that bowling power. But again, if Nitish Reddy fails with the ball, the workload will, increase on the likes of Jasprit Bumrah and Siraj. Then there could be a case we might see Jasprit Bumrah playing just 2 test matches instead of 3. So a lot is at stake if you look at this squad, at this series from here. But if you ask me that who would make the cut from Nitish Reddy and Shardul Thakur, then obviously, going by the experience, it will be Shardul Thakur.
Shardul Thakur, and because he also gives you that extra added advantage with the ball as well. Better bowler than, far better bowler than Nitish Kumar Reddy. So you need to stock up those bowling stocks and give Jasprit Bumrah that short burst. Maybe Shardul Thakur is the way forward.